Welcome back to USA News Hub. Here, we bring you the latest updates, highlights, and breaking news from the world. Discover the secrets behind the success of Williams and Sampras, a must-watch for all tennis enthusiasts. Women. Serena Williams. 23 singles title. Serena Williams is one of the most accomplished and decorated tennis players in the history of the game. She leads all Americans, both men and women, in Grand Slam singles titles with 23. She won her first at the U.S. Open in 1999. She broke the tie with Steffi Graf for most Grand Slams in the Open era 18 years later, adding an exclamation point to what was already a legendary career. Titles: U.S. Open, 1999, 2002, 2008, 2012, 2013, 2014. Wimbledon, 2002, 2003, 2009, 2010, 2012, 2015, 2016. Australian Open, 2003, 2005, 2007, 2009, 2010, 2015, 2017. French Open, 2002, 2013, 2015. Chris Evert. 18 singles titles. Tennis was a lifestyle for Evert and her family in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where she quickly carved out her place in the game once turning pro. She never once ranked lower than number 4 in the world, winning at least one Grand Slam singles title 13 years in a row. Titles: U.S. Open, 1975, 1976, 1977, 1978, 1980, 1982. Wimbledon, 1974, 1976, 1981. Australian Open, 1982, 1984. French Open, 1974, 1975, 1979, 1980, 1983, 1985, 1986. Billie Jean King. 8 singles titles. Growing up in California, King picked up a tennis racket at 11 years old and later told her mother she'd be number 1 in the world. Mission accomplished. King would go on to win 8 Grand Slam singles titles in the Open era and was elected to the International Tennis Hall of Fame in 1987. Titles: U.S. Open, 1971, 1972, 1974. Wimbledon, 1968, 1972, 1973, 1975. French Open, 1972. Venus Williams. 7 singles titles. Tennis changed forever when Venus and her younger sister Serena were introduced to the sport. Though Serena's presence got in the way of additional Grand Slam titles, Venus had her share of success with 7 wins at major tournaments and 5 Olympic medals, making her the most decorated tennis player in the history of the games. Titles: U.S. Open, 2000, 2001. Wimbledon, 2000, 2001, 2005, 2007, 2008. 2025. Amanda Anisimova reached the Wimbledon women's singles final after defeating Aryna Sabalenka. She became the first American to achieve this feat since Serena Williams in 2019. American-born players have a successful track record in tennis. Check out the winningest American-born tennis players at Grand Slams in the Open era below. Men. Pete Sampras. 14 Grand Slam singles titles. Born in the nation's capital, Sampras continued his tennis journey living in Southern California before turning pro at 16. He won the U.S. Open in 1990 at 19, becoming the youngest American man to win the event. Titles: U.S. Open, 1990, 1993, 1995, 1996, 2002. Wimbledon, 1993, 1994, 1995, 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000. Australian Open, 1994, 1997. Andre Agassi. 8 singles titles. Agassi's Las Vegas roots matched his flair for the dramatic style of play as he hit the pro tennis scene in the late 1980s. Reaching a number 1 ranking in 1995, Agassi continued to rack up singles titles by winning all 4 majors, completing a Golden Slam after winning the French Open in 1999. Agassi is one of 3 men, along with Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, to accomplish the feat. Titles: U.S. Open, 1994, 1999. Wimbledon, 1992. Australian Open, 1995, 2000, 2001, 2003. French Open, 1999. Jimmy Connors, 8 singles titles. Connors, the basher from Belleville, Illinois, began his dominance at a young age, from youth championships to winning the Division I singles championship at UCLA, but his biggest impact came as a pro. In the late 1970s to early 1980s, Connors had a meteoric rise. He remains the only player to win the U.S. Open on 3 different surfaces. Titles: U.S. Open, 1974, 1976, 1978, 1982, 1983. Wimbledon, 1974, 1982. Australian Open, 1974. Jim Courier, 4 singles titles. Florida's Courier wasted no time solidifying himself as a tennis mainstay, reaching the final of all 4 Grand Slam tournaments by the age of 22. That record he established in the 1980s stands strong today. He would go on to win multiple titles at the Australian and French Open tournaments before calling it quits in 2000. Titles: Australian Open, 1992, 1993. French Open, 1991, 1992. That's all for today's update on USA News Hub. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest sports news and highlights from around the world.